What's up guys, Dr. Greg here back with another episode of Braces Explained. I hope you guys are all doing awesome, and if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. So I've been looking around YouTube a lot lately, and I've been seeing a bunch of videos of people showing how they get their braces on, but they don't really explain what the process is, why they have those cheek retractors on, why your orthodontist asks you to keep your mouth dry. So what I want to dive into today's video is the process and the actual science behind how braces are attached to a tooth. So let's go. So if this is your first time on the channel, I just want to say welcome, and please consider hitting the subscribe button and the thumbs up if you enjoy this video. And if you haven't checked out our Facebook group yet, go ahead and do that. It's called the Braces Club, and I'll put a link in this corner as well as in the description of this video. So let's get into talking about today's video about how braces are attached to teeth. The whole process is a combination between chemical and actual mechanical retention of braces to the tooth structure. But like we've talked about in a previous video, the tooth is a very shiny and glossy object. You have to have a very strong process and a very disciplined process in how we get the braces on. A lot of the materials that we use to put braces on are what is called hydrophobic. So what hydrophobic means is that if it's in contact with water, it won't work. Just like oil and water don't mix, a lot of these solutions, when in contact with things like saliva, water, and blood, don't adhere and work to hold on to the tooth. So that's why it's really important that you have clean teeth when you come into your braces appointment, and that when we ask you to keep your mouth open or bite on the suction, you do those things to make the area dry. So it's very important before you get your braces on to maintain a very good level of oral hygiene, and you can do that using the products that I put in the description of today's video. So even before getting your braces, you want to make sure that you have really clean teeth so that these braces can adhere properly. So the first thing you will have done on the day of your bonding procedure is that you will have your mouth isolated. And what this means is that we'll put in a retractor, which keeps the cheeks and tongue away from the teeth, as well as a suction to keep the area dry. After we've made sure that the teeth are dry and away from anything that's wet, we'll start the process by using an etchant. So the way we apply this etchant to the tooth is in something that looks a lot like a syringe. Do not freak out. It is not a shot. It is not a shot. It is not a shot. Everyone freaks out when they see this thing because they think, oh my god, I'm gonna get a shot. You are not gonna get a shot during this entire process, okay? And this is what the etchant looks like. Like I said, it looks a lot like a shot, but nothing will poke you, I promise. And every orthodontist uses a different type of etchant, but the one I use is blue. And what this will do is it'll create roughening of the tooth. And what I mean by roughening is that it makes it so that this glossy surface is a little bit easier to hold on to. Like we've discussed in a previous video, there are different layers to the tooth. The outermost layer, which is the protective layer, is called the enamel, and that's the area of the tooth that these braces are attached to. Now, this etch only affects about 5 microns of the tooth. So to put that into relation about how much of enamel that's affected, if the thickness of your enamel is as big as a football field, the amount that we're affecting with the etchant is about the size of a piece of paper. So it's a really, really small amount. But what this does is that it makes that area a little bit more porous so that we can attach to it with the braces. After this etch is rinsed off, the next thing we'll do is apply a bonding agent. Now what a bonding agent does is that it attaches the tooth to the bracket with the glue. It creates a chemical attachment between the tooth and the glue, which will be used to attach the bracket to the tooth. Okay? So after we apply this bonding agent, next what we can do is apply the bracket with the composite on it, which is the glue that we use to attach the brace to the tooth. So after your tooth is prepared with the bonding agent, now it's time to get the braces actually put onto the tooth. At this stage, your orthodontist or your orthodontic assistant will apply a little bit of this composite material to the back of the bracket and really push it into the back of the bracket, because the bracket has this mesh and you want to be able to engage it as much as possible. Once the bracket has all the composite glue placed on that and your tooth is prepared with the bonding agent, then you can place the bracket on the tooth. At this stage, your orthodontist will adjust the position of these brackets so that they're in the most ideal position for you. There's no fixed way of how they should be placed on your teeth. Like I said, they're all customized to you and your particular malocclusion. Subsequently, your orthodontist will go ahead and clean off any remaining glue that is not necessary to hold the bracket to the tooth and use a blue curing light. What this blue curing light does is that it hardens the material, creating that bond between the tooth and the bracket, and making sure that it's fully set so that there's no seepage that can cause cavities under the braces. It's really important to not look at this pretty blue light though, because what this light can do is cause a lot of damage to your eyes. So your orthodontist will ask you to maybe either close your eyes or not look at the light if you're watching your friend get the braces on. After that, your orthodontist will let you go and rinse, and congratulations, your braces are now on your teeth. The next step in the process will be to apply a wire to start delivering forces to your teeth. The first wire you will generally get will be a nickel titanium or a Ni-Ti wire, and I'll put a link into this corner to describe what a Ni-Ti wire really is. This wire will be secured using colored ligatures, which I've also talked about in another video, which I'll link out over here. And you're done. You got your braces. So now let's fast forward a little bit into the future and see how these things are removed. On the day that you get your braces removed, your orthodontist will go through and debond each one of these brackets. These brackets are held onto your teeth pretty well, but whenever there's a force that's put in an awkward angle, kind of like why we tell you to avoid eating chips and hard foods, they'll snap off of the tooth. It's not painful, like many of you know that have broken brackets. It's not a painful thing. The orthodontist will use an instrument and basically snap these brackets off of your teeth, which is really painless, and then we'll follow it up by using a drill or a handpiece to polish off any of the glue. Like I said, this process is really painless, and your orthodontist will basically just be going through to make sure that your teeth are really smooth now that the braces are off. So what you need to do during this entire process is make sure that 1, you're not moving around too much, and 2, you're really following your orthodontist instructions. If he or she asks you to bite down on the suction, or keep your tongue back, or not move your lips, just follow those rules, just because we want to make sure that there's the least amount of contamination on these teeth and braces, because whenever there's a contamination, that's when you have it so that the bracket doesn't hold on as well as we'd like it to, and that's when you have suboptimal bonding and make it so that the brackets don't adhere to your teeth, and when the brackets don't adhere to your teeth won't move. I'd love to know, did you guys have a similar process when you had your braces put on? Let me know in the comment section of this video. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all these videos. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. For now, Dr. Greg, out.